partial highlights. I think she didn't, the previous stylist didn't light enough the hair, so that's why her hair looks very, very brassy. But also she had some
banding. Ooh,
Yes.
I see the banding. I want to make sure everybody at home sees this. So you'll see that the highlights go, what would you say, that's a level 8 to a level 7 for the banding?
Level 7, yes.
So let's take a look at this banding at home, everybody. And her natural color is what?
Like a level 3.
Wow, you have bitten off quite the challenge. So making sure everybody at home can see what your lovely model is starting out with so that we can see the big changes that you're going to do. So everybody see this level 8, and then you have some level 7 in there. See that, all that orange?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you're going to be able to fix all of that in today's class with an ammonia-free color?
Yes.
Okay, this is something I want to see.
Well, we're going to do partial highlights. We're going to get the previous highlights more light so we can take away all the brassiness. We're gonna make her a little bit more lighter, but also we're going to break the base.
You're going to break the base.
We're going to break the base.
Now, when you say you're breaking the base, what does that mean exactly?
Breaking the base is using the same color to leave a little bit the natural hair color. It's not 2 tones or 3 tones like usually stylist does with permanent color. We're gonna use the toner to break the base, to lift a little bit, to make it a little lighter, but not too much.
Okay, so you're going to do highlights, and you said that you're going to concentrate on a very definite money piece in the front. Mm-hmm. So a partial highlight with a strong money piece. And then when you tone, you're going to come in here and break the natural base.
Yes.
To lighten her up just a little bit to make her overall a little lighter.
Yeah. So it blends with the highlights.
Okay, so my next question, and I'm sure a lot of people here at home are wondering also, is how you're going to go ahead and do highlights and color on hair when we can see that some of the blonde is already the hair strand's a little bit compromised. I see some damage in here.
Oh, well, we have Passport. Passport is a bonding system that you can add to your bleach, and it will protect the hair from the bleaching processing. So this will help to make it to give some strain to the hair and during the bleaching processing.
Great, and that's added to your lightener.
Yeah, you can add to the liner, you can add to the color also.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will stop talking so much and let you get started.
I'm going to use Icy Blue from Oyster.
So the Bleacy Blue lightener?
Yeah, and it has blue pigment.
Oh, great. And how are you mixing that?
I'm going to mix 1 to 1.5.
Okay, so the very first thing I noticed is that you're using a scale.
Yeah, I cannot work without a scale because that way I'm sure that everything that I'm doing in the future is going to be exactly the same result.
Oh, great. And the mixing ratio for this is?
1.5 or 1 or in 2.
Okay. And what are you going to mix?
How do you want your
consistency?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's go back over here and take a look at this client. Hi, Chanel and Yar. Janie, nice seeing you guys. Thank you for joining us this morning. So she said that she's going to come up here and do a money piece, do another partial highlight up through here, break the base, and then tone the previous partial highlight that this client had. Hope you guys are excited as I am to see what she does. So, oh, I see her adding Passport to the lightener. How much Passport do you add to the lightener?
3 grams of Passport for every 10 grams of liner.
Oh, so
without the developer.
Oh, so you don't count the developer?
No, you don't count the developer.
So everybody out there, it's 3 grams of Passport number 1 for every 10 grams of lightener powder, not counting the developer. And I see she has a whisk to mix it all up. Well, the way she measures and mixes, she's welcome in my kitchen anytime. So while she's mixing, let's take a look at the Purity tube. So I see she has a tube of Purity color out here. So you'll see Purity, this is a 6-1, a dark ash blonde. 3.38 ounces or 100 milliliters. So this tube of color is really big. Let's open this up. So that's 100 milliliters, which is 100, same as 100 grams, 3.38 ounces. So a large tube of color, enough to do quite a few clients. Okay. So walk us through your process a little bit, Yvonne.
We're gonna start with the money piece first because it's gonna be her face frame. I'm using 15 developer because her hair is compromised and we don't want to get her hair more damage.
So I've never heard of 15 developer.
15 developer is very easy to make. You just equal parts, 20 volume and 10 volume.
Oh, okay. So it's a developer you made by mixing
Yes.
10 and 20 together, equal parts.
Yeah.
To move it up half a level.
Mm-hmm. So this is my, I don't do like a lot of sectioning. I just work in how I feel the hair is going. So I'm just going to get this super dark hair on baby lights. I'm gonna do 2 baby lights, 1 slice. We need to make sure to secure our foils so so that when we prevent the bleeding. Very, very tiny little hair. It makes the difference, a huge difference.
So I see that these are very, very
Very
thin.
thin. Because we want to brine her up, but very settled. Not chunky pieces. That looks very, very ugly.
So this is very much an average type client that would come into the salon, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes they just come because they didn't get a good service, and we got pretty much like color corrections every day. And that's the fun part.
So my question for you is, I know that we all would automatically say, oh, this is color correction. But are you charging for a color correction? What would you typically charge for this, or how would you charge?
Usually we charge for color correction $80 an hour in the salon. When it's a very, very complicated, sometimes we need 2 sessions or 3 sessions to get to the goal. We talk to the client about it. In her case, we're going to do a color correction, but we want to try to make it not too expensive.
Okay.
And not taking a lot of time.
Oh, so you're trying to be
she will see a huge change in a short time without paying a lot of money.
So I see this is a very thin slice. Yes. So the first 2 were baby lights. So you did 2 baby lights
back to back,
and then a slice.
and slice.
Now are you taking that all the way up?
Take a little. No, we're gonna just
feather it up.
Feather a little bit so we can start blending.
Hey everybody at home, just want to make sure everybody can hear us okay. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions. Now I see that you're taking diagonal partings.
Yes.
Do you typically work diagonally like this?
When I do a money piece, yes, because this is when it falls down, is when you will see like a ribbon.
Okay.
You know, but when she put up the hair, then you can see that it's blending, you know. So in here, I'm going to.
Also, now you're starting to back comb.
I'm going to back combing this.
Hi, Nick. I see your question, but I'm not quite sure what you mean. You're asking, how can you say that is done properly? So this is a client that came in from another salon, and Yvonne is going to try to improve the work that was done there by overall lightening her, adding some baby lights, doing a partial highlight, and then toning and breaking the base to make her overall a little blonder without having all the brassiness that the previous highlights were left as from another salon.
After we finish all of it, we need to low light these pieces.
Okay.
Because if we left this light, then the work on the money piece, it won't look like it's supposed to, because she has this is supposed to be low light.
So you're going to do some low lights in between.
Yes, in between.
So again, you don't take the lightener all the way to the top. You're feathering that?
Yes. Just the first two baby lights, they go all the way to the back. Alright. So we're done here.
So do you do the entire side before you switch sides, or how do you typically do this?
I do one side first and then the other side.
Okay. So I see you taking a little bit, almost a corner.
Because we want to this
To connect.
to connect.
Oh, I see that. Okay. So then you're going to low light everything that was left out? in
Not
between?
everything, just in the money piece, just part of the money piece,
Okay.
and the rest I'm just gonna leave it like that.
So now I see you taking it closer to the root. So while you continue that, I'm going to show everybody what you used so far. Okay, so the lightener today is Bleacy Blue from Oyster, and it's a blue anti-yellow lightener that provides 6 levels of lift. And then Passport number 1, which is a bond builder that is going to protect the hair and repair disulfide and hydrogen bonds that are broken during hair lightening services. So you mix 3 grams of Passport number 1 for every 10 grams of lightener into your lightener, and that will repair the disulfide and hydrogen bonds that get broken during lightening services and protect the hair.
It's the same process. 2 baby lights, one slice,
So 2 baby lights, 1 slice.
one TC light, and then one highlight, leaving a gap. Very, very thin sections.
So Jason Randolph is asking what volume developer you're using,
We're using 15 volume,
which is made
which
by.
is made by 20 and 10 equal parts.
And why did you choose to make a 15 volume?
Because her hair is compromised, and it will take me a while to do everything, so it's like a slow cooking. So the heat is not, it's like a low heat processing.
So I see you feathering that up.
I never use 30 volume unless it's on hand free.
So when do you use 20 volume?
I use 20 volume when I'm going to do like a, let's say, partial highlights on virgin hair. It won't take me a lot of time.
Okay.
But if it's something that I need to do and I have to take my time and I'm gonna need more time to foil, I prefer to start with a very low developer.
Low and slow.
Low and slow, yes.
So how do you decide how much to backcomb the hair?
We want to be chunky, but not too chunky. I don't know how to explain that, but it's just I prefer to take probably like 50% of what I'm going to tease.
Okay.
So that way the blend is, all of this is gonna be dark. So when you comb the hair, it's very, very blending.
Okay. And then you won't see the lines of
You won't
demarcation when it
see
grows
lines
out.
of them. Exactly.
Yeah. I see her last stylist probably did not do any teasing. You can see that that her old highlights very much, you see the line.
Yes. I don't know. I think in our profession, the beauty of our profession is that we can combine all the techniques in one client. You don't have to do like specifically one technique to one result. You can use partial highlights. You can do foliage in the back. We can do teasing. I mean, it doesn't have to be all the time just one.
Oh yeah, so many stylists nowadays are still doing a partial highlight is 12 to 15 foils, and they go mohawk with 3 on each side. Or a partial highlight is, 20 foils. Where do you want your foils at? So yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. That it's a matter of mixing different techniques to get a result. So when you price your clients, do you automatically price, partial highlight, full highlight, root, color melt, shadow root, or do you discuss the overall look and then price for the overall result?
I price for the overall result. I never give a price like, oh, this is just for highlights and plus toner plus bonding. I prefer to give a total result with everything because it's something that the client doesn't know. The client doesn't know what a bonding is on their hair. We know, but they don't know. And sometimes the client will be like, oh no, I don't need the bonding. But then they're gonna have the hair super damaged.
So you go ahead and price your services with the bond builder, with the toner, with everything they need.
Even hair treatment after the.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, because my client will leave always happy. If you make them to choose, they will choose. Of course, you don't want to spend money.
Clients can be a little cheap. Is that the nice way of you saying it?
Yes, but it's something that they need it, because if you're going to spend $200-300 on your hair and you're gonna use over the counter shampoo and condition, you don't never use treatment, so you're wasting your money too, you know. You will have a gorgeous hair for what?
So
2 weeks?
I see you angling back the feathering.
Yes.
So you took it a little higher here, and then you kind of angle it down.
Yeah.
Will that give the hair kind of like a balayage effect?
Like a balayage effect. Okay, so this is just a money piece. We still need to do this.
Okay. So now you're switching sides on me. So for those of you that are just tuning in, our educator today is the beautiful Yvonne Salinas from SH Salon. And this is a client that has come in from another salon where she had a partial highlight. How long ago?
In the beginning of the year, so probably like February.
Okay, so this is a partial highlight that the other salon did back in February. You'll notice that there's some level 8 in here. There's some level 7 banding, and a little bit of even some level 6 in some spots. So that's probably what they got from folding the foil, is what I'm guessing. Probably not the greatest of saturation. And so they had just done a partial, because if we lift back here in the back, you'll see that there's a lot of dark. And so Yvonne right now is working on the money piece. So she's doing the front first, using 15 volume with Bleacy Blue Lightener and Passport number 1. And she's doing 2 baby lights and 1 slice, and the slice is what's being backcombed. And then after the highlights are done, she is going to use our Purity line. So the Purity is an all-natural vegan line. It's Resorcinol free, PPD free, and most of all ammonia free. So it's safe for those clients that have sensitive scalps, that are immunosuppressed, pregnant, or sensitized. So it's an amazing line for people that have sensitive hair. Like this client. So people at home, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. This is the type of client that walks into our salons every day. Unfortunately, not every head of hair that comes in is a virgin head or somebody that you've been doing for a while.
Or natural blonde.
or a natural blonde.
That you will live in 10 minutes.
Yeah. A lot of clients come from other salons and come in with problems. Problems that you have to deal with as a stylist. So Jason's asking if this is a full color line or just toners with the color line. And while Yvonne foils, I'm going to go ahead and take this one. So give me 1 second to get the color book. So Perlicolor is a full color line. It's ammonia free, resorcinol free, and PPD free. You get 3 levels of lift, and it is a full color line with 34 shades. So this right here is our color book. It's manufactured by Oyster Perlicolor right outside of Milan, Italy. So you'll see that they have a full range of naturals. They have the ash, the golds, coppers, reds, violets, intense reds, and then some pastel colors. The colors can be mixed together to create an unlimited amount of different shades. And the entire line is just 34 shades. So as a stylist, it's one of the tools in my arsenal. It is a permanent color line, but it can be used as a demi-permanent. So to use it as a permanent color, you're going to mix it 1:1, and you can get up to 3 levels of lift with full gray coverage. To use it as a demi-permanent, you can use it either with 6 volume or 10 volume, 1 part color to 2 parts developer. With that, you won't get any lift at all. Instead, you'll just be able to tone. So back to Yvonne. It's a great color line to have around for those sensitive clients. I mean, for those of you that do a lot of pregnant women, people that are immunosuppressed, or people with just sensitized hair, or don't like the smell of ammonia and the harshness of ammonia. There are a lot of clients out there that have become sensitized to hair care products over the years. It's a very small line, so you don't have to use it as your only line. A lot of salons just carry it or just carry the naturals for an emergency. I like to say it's better to have something and not need it than need it and not have it.
You can even combine. You can combine both. You can combine the purity with
the Perlicolor line.
Yes.
Yeah. So I keep the Perlicolor line as my full line that I use every day. But I keep the Purity line as my backup line and my line for sensitized clients. So it's not hard to keep 34 shades around, or every other shade of the naturals and the ashes. So you'll see her taking a weave here. Very fine, fine weave.
This will make a huge difference.
This will definitely brighten up the front.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we're going to
So now you're going to try to bridge that area. I'm going to step over to the other side.
It's not perfect. I'm in an awkward position.
You can make me move. What do you need to move?
Okay, that's okay. You need a lot of tension in the front always. So that way you can secure your
So right now, Yvonne is trying to fix a client's hair that have some old partial highlights from the beginning of the year that she received at another salon. You'll notice that the highlights are a mixture of level 8, level 7, with some level 6 banding. So let's make sure we get in there and let you guys see that. So there's some banding in the individual sections that are a little bit darker. Right now, she's using the Oyster Bleacy Blue, Passport number 1, and has made a 15 volume developer by mixing 10 and 20. When the client's highlights are done, she's going to be using our Purity line, which is the Ammonia free, PPD free, and Resorcinol free, all natural vegan line from Perla Color. There are 34 shades, and it's made for clients with sensitive scalps or sensitive hair that are pregnant, immunosuppressed, or just have sensitized senses. So what she's doing right now is going in and doing 2 baby lights and then a slice that she backcombs. She says she's backcombing about 50% of the hair out in order to make sure that she gets rid of those lines of demarcation as the hair grows out. So ladies and gentlemen at home that are watching this or in other salons, one of the problems is, as hairstylists, we don't always control who walks through the door to our salons. And oftentimes it's left to us to fix work that has been done by other stylists. So these were a partial highlight that were done back in January or February at another salon. And you'll see it's a partial highlight. If I lift back here a little bit, you'll see underneath that it's definitely a partial highlight done in another salon. And then the highlights themselves are mostly a level 8, but there's some level 6 banding in some spots, and a lot of level 7 orange. So what we're going to do today is get rid of that warmth. We're going to overall lighten around this client's face to accentuate her beautiful skin tone. And then we're going to go ahead and neutralize some of this warmth using the Purity color line, specifically 6-1. And Yvonne's going to bump the client's base color just to overall provide a little lightening, because her base is a very, very dark 2-3. Let's go back and take a look at the front.
So we got
So I see you've done the money piece.
the money piece.
Okay, where are we at now?
So now we're gonna do the partial highlights, which is gonna be just this area. And probably this here, we're just gonna tip out
Okay.
to bright the ends. We're gonna tip out these ends.
Oh, you're going to tip out those ends.
And we're gonna do the partial here.
You're going to tip them out with lightener or color or both?
Wet lightener.
Lightener.
We're gonna leave this little triangle. We have to leave it dark. This little.
Okay.
Because this will give us the depth for the money piece to pop up.
So you're going to leave it as it is now, or are you going
I'm
to
going
tone
to
it?
Tone it.
Okay. What are you going to tone it with?
I'm gonna tone it with the base color with the 6-1 to like a low light.
So I'm not going to point out to anyone that they're starting to go gray a little bit, but some client may be starting to go gray a little bit. Yeah, getting a little old, dear.
I'll be 40 this year.
Oh wow, you look great for 40. Now, our lovely educator, Yvonne, you won't see not a drop of gray in her hair. None. She's much too young to ever be gray.
You can say my age. I don't care.
Her age is old.
Too old.
Okay, so what are you doing here in the back, sweetheart?
We're gonna start the the highlights,
Okay.
partial highlights. But I like to get like probably in the crown area. I'm just gonna do this first.
Okay,
But
and
I'm
are
gonna
you
start in here.
doing them vertically, horizontally,
It's gonna
diagonally?
be horizontal.
Okay, horizontal highlights.
Just a regular highlights.
And how far will you take those
How far?
Yes,
What do you mean? Oh, all the way.
all the way to the
All
scalp.
the way to the
Okay.
top, yes.
I'm going to keep hovering around you and adjusting angles just so everybody at home can see it from a few different ways.
It's okay. Allergies.
So I notice everybody has their own folding technique.
I use a lot of oils. I like to get like small sections, so I'm just making sure that it's perfect.
So I see you do small little packets.
This is like a 1/2 inch section, so now we can do more depth.
So I see you do a very tight weave. And now you do a little bit of a feather up.
I hate bleeding on my foils, so.
And so how do you avoid that? Because I know a lot of people have trouble with it.
Well, I try not to put a lot of product on it because remember that the bleach expands. So I try to apply very little product and with the brush just give like a little touches. And I like to like almost perfect, because sometimes they come and they just want highlights retouch, and if you don't get like a perfect
Weave.
it's gonna be super hard to find those highlights to retouch just the new growth.
So Claudia Lopez is saying good morning, Yvonne.
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry, this is my first class. I'm nervous.
She's doing a great job. I'm even learning.
This is the most difficult part for me. Because I'm short. All right, I'm gonna need more product, okay?
Okay. So you'll see that she has her scale, and she's mixing Bleacy Blue.
I'm gonna use 20 volume because it's the
Last few highlights.
few highlights.
And I see you adding our Passport Bond Builder in there. 3 grams of Passport Bond Builder for every 10 grams of lightening powder or bleach. For those of you that are just tuning in, I'm Jeremiah Salmons, Director of Education for Perlicolor, and you are watching our Purity All Natural Vegan Hair Color class taught by the lovely Yvonne Salinas, who's back there mixing a little bit more lightener. Today we are demonstrating the Bleacy Blue lightener for the highlights, and then the Purity line, which is our all-natural vegan hair color that is ammonia-free, resorcinol-free, and PPD-free. It's safe for pregnant women, clients that are immunosuppressed, cancer patients, and people with sensitive hair and or scalps. So today, Yvonne is here with her lovely model who came in from another salon, who has some older highlights from January or February that were lightened to a level 8 for the majority, but with some level 6 and level 7 banding in there. And what Yvonne has done so far is she's brightening the front with a very, very strong money piece, doing 2 baby lights with 1 teasy slice, and now she's putting some foils in the back. This is meant just to be a partial highlight service and tone. She'll end up toning with the Purity, and she'll also go ahead and break the base to overall lighten the client a bit. Normally, for most of us, we would call this a color correction. I would bill $120 an hour, which is my rate for color correction, in order to fix this. But in order to be efficient with time and the client's money, the client and Yvonne, after consultation, have decided that a more affordable way of fixing this problem would be to go ahead and do a more blended partial highlight with a strong money piece and to tone and break the base. It's a great approach to fixing the problem without breaking the bank. Now, for those of you wondering, this model came in with the highlights from another salon. This is not Yvonne. Yvonne didn't do this one. But Yvonne's going to fix it and make the client even prettier than she already is. Just remember, people, that we can't always control the clients that come into our salon, where they've gone, what they've done with their hair texture, previous work. But what we can control is how we let them leave our salon. And one of your jobs as a stylist is to tell them all the different ways that a problem can be fixed, and then find a solution that works for you and for them, and their budget. And then use the products that you need in order to complete
That's other
that
thing.
plan.
We have to be flexible. Some clients don't have a lot of money but they want to be pretty. And one of the things, we can give them options. Not, oh, I charge this and that's it. No, we can give them options, so it's a win-win, you know? Because that's our goal, to make people happy.
So Osvaldia is asking something in Spanish. My Spanish is horrible. I believe she's asking if it covers gray hair, but I'm going to let you look at it.
Sí, cubre 100% cana y es excelente para personas que tienen problemas de alergias. Si son alérgicos a algún ingrediente de los tintes normales, este tinte es perfecto para eso.
So for those of us who have very limited Spanish like mine, what was her question?
She was asking if it covers gray.
Oh, okay, so my Spanish is not quite as
Not
bad
bad.
as yeah. That's what happens when you have a very, very cute Mexican boyfriend.
And since I'm getting gray, it's perfect.
Yeah, since our client is definitely getting gray. So in your answer for her when she asked about gray coverage, how does Purity cover gray hair? Is it good coverage?
It has 100% gray coverage.
Personally, I love Purity for gray coverage.
Yes.
I love the fact that it makes the hair shiny, silky, and covers the gray. I have a lot of clients, for those of you that don't know it, I have cancer and go to MD Anderson for leukemia. So I've made a lot of friends over the years at MD Anderson that have cancer and or nurses, and have quite a few clients myself who are immunosuppressed. And so I found that Purity works amazingly wonderful for them.
Okay.
So I see you leaving this triangle out. Is that on purpose? Why are we
It's
leaving?
on purpose because we need this depth to pop up this light.
Oh, so
when
by
she-
having
Yes.
the darker hair, it'll accentuate the light. Okay. So what's next? Your
So
partial
next,
highlights
I'm
in.
going to tip out just this little hair.
Now, when people say tip out the hair, I mean, I tip out my waiters. What exactly do you mean by tipping out the
Tip
hair?
out is bright, give it more brightness to the ends.
Okay.
Um,
And how do you do that?
To do that, first of all, you have to elevate your hair because this you cannot. In this hair, we cannot do like when we do on highlights that we do a root shadow. We cannot do root shadow here, so we have to make sure that this will blend and it will lift like very, very even.
Okay, so I see you taking the hair and holding it pretty tautly, and now you're back combing.
Not
And
too
so
much, just a
you're
little bit.
back combing.
You open the hair.
Okay. Opening the hairs. What are you weaving out?
I'm weaving out.
Oh, we're weaving out the really blonde.
No, just weaving. You have to weave to blend the hair.
Okay.
We're not gonna tip all of it. If you tip all of it, then it makes no sense because there's no there's not gonna be any dimension.
And so how far do you take the lightener up when you're
Just
tipping it?
like 1/3.
And now you're feathering it up?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're putting another foil over it.
Yes. Because we need to this to.
Oh, I've seen this before. The hot dog churro thing.
We have to make sure that we're gonna use like little sections.
And so are you going to tip out the whole head?
No, just the front. Because this will connect with the tip outs will connect the brightness of
The money pieces.
the money piece.
Okay. Now, I know some people, when they see backcombing, automatically go, oh my gosh, it's going to be hard to get out. Do you find it hard to get that out when you shampoo, or is it pretty easy?
It is easy. First of all, what I do is I open the hair. Before I put water on it, I open the hair.
You open the hair in
I
any
open
way?
the hair and then I
What do you mean you open the hair? I don't know what that means.
I'll show you in a minute.
Okay. Do you knock on a hair doorbell? Do you,
Let's say that she's ready, right? So what I do is I open this hair.
Oh,
See?
okay.
When you open the hair, then if you get it wet, it won't knot a lot.
so when it goes to tighten, it won't tighten to knots because it's open a little. Okay, I can
So I try
see
to
that.
open it as much as I can before I rinse.
It's definitely not a pretty look, but I can understand why you would do it.
And Passport 2 is awesome. It's the best choice.
For
What I
bond
do is
builders?
when I do a balayage and I have to do a lot of piecing, what I do is I rinse the hair, I wash the hair, and I do a Passport 2, like hair treatment.
Okay.
And then I rinse and the hair is ready.
So we'll see her back combing and going to tip out this little section over here. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining us. If anyone has questions, don't be afraid to ask. We've had some other people ask questions, and Yvonne loves answering questions. And her Spanish is much better than mine. Michael's saying good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Open the hair as much as you can
To fully saturate the ends.
to fully saturate.
Feathering it up. Making your sandwich. So we have another educator that loves doing those little sandwiches. So by doing so much backcombing and then taking your weave after you've backcombed, you really are breaking this a lot so there's not going to be any harsh
Any
lines.
harsh lines.
And you're only doing this for the front.
Just for the front, yes.
What
You
if the-
can do it everywhere. If I will do the whole head, I will definitely tip out all of it. But
Also-
it depends on the client. If they want to be super, super bright on the ends, like a beach effect, you can do it. Or if you just want to refresh a balayage, you can do just partial highlights and tip out, and that's it. You don't have to do the whole thing. All right. So now I'm going to mix the color for the lowlights.
Okay, so now you're going to mix a low light color. Ooh, we're getting low lights too? Me next.
Yeah.
I thought maybe a little low light here,
Highlight there.
some low lights here too. Yeah, I'm old. So Yvonne's leaving us. Watch her walk away.
Mix the color.
She's off to mix the color, leaving us all alone. So today you guys have all tuned in for our purity class. So this is the Purity color swatch book. Purity is an ammonia-free, resorcinol-free, and PPD-free line. There are 34 shades, and it is a vegan hair color that has been specially formulated for people that are immunosuppressed, pregnant, or have sensitized scalp and or hair. There are 34 shades. So you'll see our naturals, full range of naturals, ashes, gold, cocoa, coppers, red, intense red, violets, and some pastels. All 34 shades are able to be mixed together. So with these 34 shades, you're able to create an unlimited number of variations. So this can be used as your salon's complete color line or as a supplemental line just for those clients that have allergies and or are immunosuppressed. The Purity tube comes in 3.38 ounces. It's 100 milliliters or 100 grams. Milliliters and grams are both interchangeable, meaning that these tubes are about twice the size as most color lines out there. Most color lines are doing about 60 grams, which is about 2 ounces, and this is 3.38 ounces. And it's available at Salon and Spa Wholesaler here in Houston. So far, Yvonne has used the Oyster Blissy Blue Lightener, which she mixed with Passport number 1, which is our bond builder. Now, Passport number 1 can be added to any lightener or color line. When used with lightener, it's 3 grams of Passport for every 10 grams of lightener. You only count the powder, not the developer. And it will not add any time to your processing or slow that down at all. So that's our Passport number 1. Now, Passport number 2 can be used after you use Passport number 1. You'll use this at the shampoo bowl, or you'll mix Passport number 1 and 2 together to make a Passport Bond Reconstruction treatment. The Passport Bond Reconstruction treatment is an amazing treatment for hair that has been damaged. It rebuilds the disulfide nitrogen bonds in hair, making color last longer, strengthens the hair strand, and repairs previous damage. I use Passport in every single one of my color services, and I recommend the Passport Bond Reconstruction treatment for all of my clients. So for those of you that are just tuning in, we had a client come in from another salon who had previously had a partial highlight back in January or February. Let's take a look at this. You'll see it's just a partial highlight. Nothing going on underneath. They lifted her to a rather warm level 8, though you'll see a lot of level 7 mixed in, and even some level 6 banding. So take a look in there. So the previous stylist probably took thicker sections with her foils, and unfortunately the saturation didn't lift quite as well as you'd like. It's not quite an even lift, because you'll see the level 8, and then you'll see level 7 and some level 6 banding right on the hair strand. So this warmth is why she came in and started looking for another stylist. And the lovely Yvonne Salinas, Perlicolor educator and manager of SH Salon Spring Green, is here today to fix it. She's going to provide a lighter look for the client by doing a very strong money piece in the front. She alternated 2 baby lights with a slice for that front, with some partial highlights in the back. She tipped out the ends for the front to blend those ends with the money piece. And then right now, she's doing a low light. So Yvonne, you want to tell us a little bit about what you're low lighting with, where, why, and how?
Okay, I'm going to low light the in between on the money piece, because we need that depth, we need that dimension, and because her hair was super light, she had a lot of highlights in the front. Whatever I do, if I don't have that darkness, it won't look nice.
So in the front, the previous stylist had probably over lightened just a little bit, and so she was lacking depth.
Yes.
So you put the new money piece in, some highlights in the front, and now you're just going in between those foils and low lighting any hair that was left out.
That is left out, yes.
So this is a very messy process.
It's fun. I love it.
Now, will you low light anything else in the hair, or are you just low lighting the front where the money piece was?
I think just the front, and I think that will be enough.
And what did you use?
I'm using Purity. I'm using 7-1.
So you're low lighting with a 7-1.
7-1 with 10 volume.
With 10 volume.
I'm not touching the new road close to the scalp, because I'm gonna do that later when I break the base.
Okay. So she's just going in the front and doing some low lighting of hair that was left out. That way she has a little depth with the new highlights and money piece. Very messy process, but nice to be able to do all at once. Just trying to color in any of that blonde that was left.
In here,
Oh, so you're also going to low light the hair that was backcombed. It definitely does not look pretty when you're doing it, but the results are very nice. a very messy process. It's very interesting how everybody has their own technique for doing that.
The color is already, see?
Oh,
It's a
it is already
beautiful
filling in.
color. It's going to be a beautiful color.
That's going to be a much more subtle highlight. Now, when you're toning and or doing a low light, how long does it typically take to process?
Usually, I like to tone like 20 minutes.
About 20
To
minutes?
30 minutes, it depends. But
For toning too, or just for the low lights?
for the low light, it doesn't matter because the color won't, it won't get darker. So you can leave it for.
Also, it's not a progressive color.
No.
It won't get any darker than the 7-1 that you've chosen. Okay, I get that. A little bit of a bleeder. Happens to us all, girl. Happens to us all.
To everybody.
Especially when you're moving foils around. So Gracella Garza just tuned in. Hi, Gracella. So what she's doing right now is she's low lighting all the hair that was left out between the foils in the front, between the money pieces. Just because the front may have been just a little overly blonde. So why are you opening up foils?
Because I tease here and there is some light hair inside of the foil.
So you're trying to blend that. So a messy technique, but the results are beautiful. I've seen you do it before. Cecilia Wynn says hi.
Hi, Ceci. Thank you for watching us.
So you'll see that she's low lighting all the hair that was left out of the foils. So this is where she tipped out the ends. She's just low lighting some of that hair that was a little overly blonde. So what's the difference between what you're doing now and the hair when you tone it, color-wise? Because I think that you said that you were going to be toning with a 7-1 also.
Well, first of all, this developer is lower. I'm gonna using to break the base on the shampoo ball 20 volume, so that will lift a little bit. It will get lighter.
So right now you're just toning with
I'm just toning with 10 volume.
So right now you're toning with 10 volume, and then you're going to go ahead low lighting, and then you're going to break the base and tone
20 volume and tone at the same time.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a beautiful color all over.
Ooh, so now you're going to go ahead and low light the triangle that you left out. So Denise Marie is saying, brilliant technique, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, it is a messy technique, but the results are beautiful.
Well, there's no other way to do it if you want to your work to be shown, because if I don't do this and she's gonna be so blonde on her face and you won't see your work. So
She'll be washed out, color-wise. I can see that. Yeah, I've seen the results of this technique, so I know that the results are gorgeous. It's just not a technique we see all that often on video because, you know, a lot of stylists need everything to be perfect, every section to be perfect, every
you
hair
will
to
never
be...
see this, and this will help me. Even the color will help me to comb it later.
Oh, when you tone, because it's going to provide a little bit of additional ash
Yes.
when you shampoo her out. So you're low lighting the top also?
Yeah.
Poor Yvonne's on her tippy toes. You guys can't see it, but do you ever stand on a telephone book?
I'm planning to buy my stool. Like those for kids. That would be a great invention, you know? Something like you can put on the behind the chair. Thank you.
We have a lot of vertically challenged stylists out there. You're not the only one.
My clients, they laugh all the time when I say, I'm sorry, I'm a small person.
Yeah.
I'm not even short, but even I have to have clients scoot down in the chair sometimes. Especially those last few foils. So you see her toning all those hairs that were left out. Just add a little bit of dimension. Mary says, can't see. Raise her seat up. What are you not able to see, Mary? So you'll see that she went ahead and low lighted all the hair that was left out of the foils, and then she pulled it over to the side and the front so that it didn't get on the back.
She's on a level 7 right now. So we're gonna wait probably 25 minutes, 20 to 25.
Okay. Oh, so you're checking the foils.
Yes.
And you said that she's at a level 7?
She's at level 7, the last one.
Oh, the last foil. Okay. Let's peek with her. Oh, that's pretty. So you went ahead and you're starting to pull some foils in the front that are ready.
Just the ones that it has like super little hair. We don't want that to break. or over process. I know this looks like you said a little messy, but I prefer to do it than over process her hair, you know?
She's checking the more fragile hairs around the face and pulling them when they're ready. So that first foil. Ooh, it's lifted to a very pretty color. Still has all the strength to it.
All right,
And so now we're just going to let her process.
let's let her process.
Now, when you tone her, will you tone her at the chair or will you tone her at the shampoo bowl?
It depends. It depends. If she has a lot of hair and I need to do with shadow, I would definitely sit her in the chair and do it over there. But in her case, I think we're gonna tone in the shampoo bowl.
Okay. Shampoo bowl is always so much faster.
Yes. And right after everything, I'm gonna do a passport as a treatment. I'm going to combine passport 1 with passport 2. So just to make sure that we are going to bound the hair to give that strength that after the process.
Oh, I love the passport bond
I love
reconstruction
passport.
treatment.
I love it.
So this is a picture of her taking a picture
I was gonna take a picture
of me
you
taking a
already
picture.
saw it. You can go stand over there and watch.
So even the models want to Instagram nowadays.
Got it. Thank you. Oh, she's an influencer, let me tell you. Julia, she is an influencer. She has her Instagram about self love and she does a lot of
Electricity.
exercise.
Workout.
Yeah, she works out a lot. She always posts like positive things. I love it.
Y'all will be on Instagram today.
Well, great. You can save all your warmth for Instagram and not for your hair. Because we're going to definitely cool down those older highlights that you had.
Thank you. Honored to be the model today, so thank you.
So for those of you that are just tuning in, today is our Purity all natural hair color class. So we had a model come in from another salon who back in January or February had a partial highlight put in. We know it's a partial because as soon as we raise up the back a little bit, we can see all the dark. The hair was lifted to about a level 8 for most of it, but there's still a lot of 7. There's some 6 in there. And then you'll see some banding too. So you'll see probably where the stylist took some thicker sections or folded the foils. So the hair strand will be at a 9, and then you'll see some 7, and even some 6. So she's a little too warm. So she came in today, and Yvonne opted to do a very strong money piece. She alternated 2 baby lights with a back-combed slice. Any hair that was left out, she went ahead and low-lighted with a 7-1 in the purity line. just to add a little bit of dimension so that each one of those blonde money pieces will pop.
So Ash, can you see?
And so you'll see that they're already starting to fill in. It's neutralizing that unwanted warmth. So right now her highlights are processing. Once the highlights are done processing, she's going to tone her all over with a 7-1 and 20 volume. She wants to go ahead and break the base. You'll see the client has a very, very, very dark level 2-3 base. Yeah,
Probably we can, if she has a lot of hair, we can tone her on the chair.
So we'll end up toning out all of this unwanted warmth and lifting the base just a little bit in order to lighten her overall. But overall, she'll be a lighter, cooler blonde. So she'll be a hot influencer with cool blonde hair.
Goals.
She said goals, not gold.
No, hair goals.
Hair goals, not hair gold. Because, that's some warmth and a half.
That's hot, hot, hot.
It's hot, 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 not.
Not.
So her highlights are lifting very, very nicely. We used the Bleacy Blue, which provides up to 7 levels of lift, along with Passport number 1. Passport number 1 is a bond builder that rebuilds the disulfide and hydrogen bonds in the hair strand. It can be added to either your lightener, your color, or both in order to prevent new damage from forming and repair old damage that was already there. Passport number 1 can be combined with Passport number 2 at the end of a treatment to create a passport bond reconstruction treatment, which is one of the strongest reparatory treatments that I use at my salon. So we are using the Purity line. Purity is ammonia free, Resorcinol free, and PPD free. So it's safe for clients that are pregnant, immunosuppressed, or have hair and or scalp sensitivities. The Purity line is 34 shades. So it's a very, very small color line. And Yvonne's going to open up the book. It's a very small color line, 34 shades. You'll see the naturals, the ash, gold. You'll see the cacao browns, coppers, red, intense reds, violets, and pastel colors. So these 34 shades can all be combined, mixed up to create custom colors, which means truly you have an infinite range of shades that can be made with 34 colors. This line can be used as your main line or as a supplementary line just for those clients with allergies. It's a permanent color that is used, has excellent gray coverage, and can also be used as a demi-permanent when you mix it with either 6 or 10 volume. So the client is processing. You'll see her lowlights are processing very, very nicely. I see the old orange already turning a nice, lovely shade of silver blonde. If I had hair, I'd probably tone it with this color. So for me at my salon, I use the Perla line as my main line, and then I keep the Purity line purely as a supplemental line. I keep it around because I do have a number of clients that are immunosuppressed and some pregnant clients. So my philosophy is always it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And now here in the United States, more and more often, we have clients that have color and or chemical allergies. And the Purity line is an amazing line to have on hand for those clients. So this is Yvonne Salinas, our beautiful educator for the day. She's also manager of the SH Salon here at Spring Green.
Spring Green, and 1463 in Katy.
So this is our client. This is the before color. And if you look closely, you can see what the after color is already shaping up to be. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too.
If you want to get this color, you want me to do your color, you can come over, come and visit us. We're always happy to have new clients.
So all of the products are available at Salon and Spa Wholesaler here in Houston. For you stylists out there using other color lines, you're probably spending too much. The Purity line is very, very affordable for stylists. And the Oyster line has some amazing products. Our bond builders, our lighteners, developers, barrier creams, shampoos, and conditioners.
Just the phone number.
So our beautiful model's already posting on her Instagram.
The process.
So while she processes, we are going to walk over here to the shelves and take a look at some of the products from Salon and Spa Wholesaler that they carry here at SH Salon, and that you could be carrying in your salon also. So one of the most popular products that we carry at SH Salon is the June line. So June is a hair oil that is made of rose, saffron, and pistachio. It has won awards in Allure magazine and been featured in magazines all over the world. It's a very light hair oil. The packaging is beautiful on it. It's one of the gift sets. You'll see at the bottom of every bottle, there's a little bit of saffron, one of the most expensive spices in the world. I'm gonna actually walk over to a Stylist station where I see it sitting on her station. So this right here, I'm putting the lid back on, is the June Saffron Hair Elixir. So you can see that this Stylist has already gone through one bottle and is most of the way through another. See a little bit of saffron in every bottle. It is a leave-in conditioner, a detangler, a moisturizer, and a heat protectant up to 450 degrees. And they have recently launched a new shampoo and conditioner that is an amazing hydrating shampoo and conditioner. For those of you that haven't tried June, you should. It's one of my favorites. You'll also see the MacVoil line here. So MacVoil makes a line of hair oils, hairsprays, shampoos, and conditioners. And then Oyster, which is one of the product lines that we were showing you today that make the Purity line. You'll see this is their Color Up. Their Color Up line, their Rebirth line for damaged sensitized hair. They have a curly line and a variety of different styling products. And we have the Prodigen line. The Prodigen line is from Salon Spa Wholesaler. It's a thickening shampoo and conditioner and hair serum. That's pretty amazing. If you're looking for a thickening line for your salon, it's a great one to add. Let's see what else is here. Oh, here's one of my all-time favorites. This is the Cara RX, Cara Smooth Shampoo and Cara Smooth Reconditioner. This is a great shampoo and conditioner for clients that have had keratin services or that need to smooth their hair strands. So we went ahead and peeked at their retail shelves. Let's walk back over where Yvonne is talking to her client.
I'm talking to her about after the color, she can get the keratin treatment, and that will help her a lot.
Oh, the keroplasty treatment for
Keroplasty,
the keroplasty treatment from KeraRx. So I don't know what keratin treatments all of you are doing out there, what smoothing systems that you use, but there is a brand new keratin smoothing system that has been launched by KeraRx. It's called a keroplasty treatment, and it's amazing. It's a hair Botox, a capillary surgery, and a keratin all in one treatment. Come into Salon Spa Wholesaler, and we'll make sure you get a sample of it. So, going back to our client, about how much longer does she have to process, do you think?
Like 15.
15 minutes? So for 15 minutes, we get to kill time. So, Yvonne, how long have you been doing hair?
About 8 years. I started in Mexico. I am a makeup artist. I did makeup for over 20 years.
You've been doing makeup since you were like 2?
Yes. And I started working in a high-end salon in Mexico City. And I fell in love with her. I think it's amazing to change a look of somebody. Because makeup is the same, but it lasts one day. And hair, it lasts like all the time.
So how long have you been here in the United States?
4 years.
For how long?
4.
For 4 years?
Yes.
Oh,
4
wow.
years.
And so you came here to the United States, you got a cosmetology license here to match what you were doing in Mexico.
Yes.
Became a stylist here in Houston.
Yes.
Now you're a salon manager
Yes.
for SH Salon
Yes.
and a Perla Color educator.
Yes.
Wow, all in 4 years. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. That was, exactly 4 years. But it was a long process. When I was a teenager, I knew that I had the talent, and I refused to accept it until so many years later. So this is my passion, this is what I love. I don't see myself doing something else.
Well, we're glad to have you and that you're doing this. And this client is going to be very happy you've been doing this too. When we get rid of all of this orange,
The orangey. It's gonna look amazing. It's gonna look amazing.
so the client's just finishing up processing. Her highlights are lifted, the money piece and the partial highlight up in here. Low lights to break up an overly orange front. And then when Yvonne rinses her, we will go ahead and tone with a 7-1 and 20 volume, because Yvonne's going to do the unthinkable and break the base on this client. You know, there's a lot of stylists that they don't like to break the base.
Yeah.
It scares a lot of people. So you want to tell us a little bit about what breaking the base means and what the advantage that has for the client?
Well, breaking the base is pretty much when you apply the color all over the hair, and it will lift probably 1 or 2 levels. I don't know if I had so many mistakes in the past that I toned the hair and I accidentally put the color on the scalp, and because of the heat of the scalp, it will get the base color lighter.
Oh, so hot roots.
The hot roots, yes, and you have to. So some people do that on their advantage, and like, okay, we can break the base, get it a little lighter, in one step.
Okay. So what you're doing is basically just going to go ahead and lighten the roots on purpose
Yes.
while toning the hair with the 7-1. And that by choosing a 7-1, which is an ash, you're neutralizing any warmth that would arise from breaking the base. Because, one of the problems when people break the base is unwanted warmth.
On one, yes.
I can't wait to see this neutralized.
It's gonna look amazing.
So I'm excited.
So for those of you out there that have forgotten your color wheel, remember that violet is going to neutralize yellow, green neutralizes red, and blue is going to neutralize orange. So what we have in this hair is a lot of yellow with quite a bit of orange. So by choosing an ash, we're going to be able to neutralize all that oranginess up in there. So let's peek at a foil. Great.
We'll make the heat for 5 minutes. Super orange.
So I guess you have to keep it in there longer because my hair is like really orangey.
It's because it's too dark.
Too dark.
Because your hair is so dark. I mean, Darren, you're like a level 2, 3. So let's look at that natural. Let's pull out the hair chart one time for everybody at home so that you guys can see what I see. So you'll see that her natural is not a 1. She's not quite that dark, but she's also not a 3. So let's pull just a little bit of that out and put that right here so that you guys can see it. So you can see she's not as light as a 3, and she's also not quite as dark as a 1. So she's definitely about a level 2.
Like level 2.
Yep, about a level 2.
And look at the orangey.
And so when we start comparing her previous highlights, we're going to move the book just up a little bit so you guys can see what I see. We start looking at the gold, you see a lot of that level 8. So you guys see the level 8 there. She's not as light as a 9, so level 8. But then you also see that level 6 that's mixed in there? Heck, somewhere in between a 5 and a 6 on some of it. So level 8 for most of the highlight. Can you go ahead and go to the next page for me? Flip it over. So, I mean, she has, more. It's more of the gold.
It's more here.
Yeah, it's in the gold line. But you'll see that here we're at about a solid level 8. And then in the same hair strand, you'll see pieces that are level 6 and pieces that are level 7. So, I mean, there's a lot of warmth in there that needs to be toned out. Let's see how the purity does with it.
It's going to be amazing. And it's going to be so shiny. Because PPD has oils that make the hair super shiny.
So this is the hair that she went ahead and went to go. She low lighted in between those foils up front. we know there is nothing more boring than watching water boil and hair process. Tuning into online classes is great for learning new techniques. And when there are live classes, you get to ask questions. So some of you at home could go ahead and liven the class up a little bit by asking any questions that you may have. Otherwise, we're in a live class, so I can't speed up the process for you. You're stuck watching color process and hearing me repeat some of the same things that I've already said. So Purity is an amazing permanent hair color line that's ammonia-free, resorcinol-free, and PPD-free. It's great for those clients that are immunosuppressed, pregnant, or have sensitivities to color. About 80% of clients that say that they're allergic to color or allergic to ammonia are actually allergic to the PPD in the color. So PPD is a big one. We as hairstylists, a lot of us know a lot about ammonia and ammonia-free lines, but we don't realize that PPD is the source of most allergic reactions. So Purity is 34 shades. Let me go ahead and open up the color book again for those of you who have not seen it yet. So 34 shades. See the naturals, ash, gold, our chestnuts, coppers, reds, intense reds, violets, and pastels. All of these colors can be combined in different formulations in order to create custom colors. So I use these colors a lot, especially on clients that have had relaxers, who are immunosuppressed and who are pregnant, and don't want ammonia used on their hair. So today we have used the Blissey Blue Lightener, and we mixed that with Passport number 1, which is a bond builder. Bond builders are really important in our industry. They allow us to take hair to places that it could never go before. It rebuilds disulfide and hydrogen bonds that were previously broken in the hair by other services and prevents new breakage from forming. So it can be added to your lightener and or your color, or it can be combined with Passport number 2 to create a Passport bond reconstruction treatment, which is one of the strongest bond rebuilding treatments in the industry. The Purity color comes in 3.38 fluid ounce tubes, which means that a tube of Purity is almost double the size of most other color lines and is available at Salon and Spa Wholesaler. For my clients with very sensitive hair, with breakage, I like to recommend that they purchase the Cutinol Rebirth shampoo, hair serum, and mask as the products to take home for them. So you shampoo with the Rebirth. After you rinse out the shampoo, you're going to go ahead and spray the serum on. And then I like to put the mask right over the serum and let it sit for 3 to 7 minutes, maybe even longer if I have the time. Rinse it out and then style the client. You can feel the difference in the hair right away.
Yeah, we always, when I do a double process, I always make sure that my clients will take home care, because that's the only way that we can guarantee that the hair will be very healthy.
So a client like this, that's probably a little bit over processed before, who we're going to tone this orange out today, that sort of take home is very important for her. It'll prevent the breakage. And so you'll see her hair toning up here. This is the hair that we low lighted. And then what's in the foils is being highlighted with a very strong face frame. Her money pieces were 2 baby lights with 1 teasy slice. And we're just waiting for the hair to finish processing. Once it does, she's going to take her back to the shampoo bowl and tone her with 7-1 in the purity line. So let's go ahead and open the book and take another look at that. With the 7-1 in the purity line, which is an ash blonde, which is a pretty ash blonde. Let me go ahead and lay this book down. Let's look at it underneath the color swatch book. And that 7-1 is going to be beautiful with the level 2 natural base that she has. So Julia Fuentes is saying, hey, Julia is here.
Now I'm following y'all.
Stalker much. So this is the hair that she went ahead and tipped out. Oh, that tipped out to a pretty color. Very blonde. So truly, this client should have been a color correction. If she came in to see me, I would have probably charged her $120 an hour to fix what the previous stylist had done. Instead, her and Yvonne have worked out a very economical and time-saving approach to fixing the previous highlights. So what they've decided to do is a partial highlight with a very strong money piece framing the face, 2 baby lights to 1 teasy slice. She went ahead and low-lighted any hair that was left out in that face frame just to add some dimension to the highlights. Because without the dark, you can't see the light. So by adding those low lights, you're able to go ahead and see the new face frame that she has. And then once she rinses that out, they're going to go ahead and tone all of these old highlights with 7-1, which is an ash blonde. And they're going to break the base. By breaking the base, you know that we're going to get some unwanted warmth. Since she's choosing to break the base with an ash, that should be able to neutralize the unwanted warmth that you get with breaking the base. So it's going to lighten this level 2, maybe to a level 3, or if she's lucky, even a level 4. Meanwhile, it's going to tone out the level 8, 7, and 6 warmth that we have mixed in with these highlights. Because the highlights, let's face it, they're not even. Where you'll see a level 8, you'll see some banding in level 7, even some level 6.
In the back, I have.
And then if you lift the back, the very back, you have a level 9, 10 in here with banding right there where you see the foils. So, I mean, you see the foil lines. But you'll see it's a partial. You'll see that the entire center, go and let your part down, Yvonne, is totally devoid of any highlights too. So it will be a nice gradual blend. It will be less expensive and less maintenance to upkeep too. Because by lifting to a level 7, from a level 2, that's much easier on the hair than being up at an 8, 9. And the grow out will look better.
Mm-hmm. She needs a haircut also.
She definitely does need a haircut also. When the split ends have split ends, you know it's time.
That's why I'm here.
So, Yvonne, you were recommending a keratin treatment for her later on.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the keratin you use here, and about the keroplasty treatment in general?
Keroplasty treatment is a smoothing treatment that it will last 4 months. It will get rid of the frizz. It will give you a smooth and healthy hair, and it will be easier for you to dry it. I have it, and I love it because that's
Your
what
hair
I do.
is very smooth and shiny.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I just got my balayage last week, right after I did the keratin treatment.
And who did your balayage?
Nancy. Well, my coworker.
She did a great job. It looks very pretty.
Very pretty. I love it. We tone it with purity also. So,
Very shiny.
very shiny. And this hair has bleach like all over, probably. Because like 3 years ago, I bleached all my hair, and then I cover it like we always do. I make it darker.
I know. We all of us stylists, we do that too. I mean,
And
I
then
bleached
I want
mine.
it to be more bright, so. But it's healthy.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, so she will probably need to the keroplasty.
Yeah, should be a great one for
after
the keroplasty.
After the color, it will help her a lot for the frizz, but especially to seal the cuticle after all this process.
Yeah, I love the keroplasty, keratin smoothing treatment. It's a hair Botox, a capillary surgery, and a keratin all in one. So it's a 3-in-1 system that can be done the same day as a color. And it smooths, repairs, and defrizzes the hair.
And the process is so simple. It's so much simpler than other brands, because you have 1 hour processing time, and it's pretty much the whole thing.
Oh.
Because when you rinse the color, when you rinse the treatment, and then you blow dry, you won't see any how you call it, like evaporize. It won't
There's no vapors, no
There
fumes.
won't be vapors.
Yes.
There won't be nothing.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's very convenient.
it's a formaldehyde-free formulation,
Yes.
so there are no toxins in it. Okay, I'm getting nervous and excited. How much longer do we have? Are we there yet? Yvonne, are we there yet? How about now? How about now? I see you checking now.
You know, I'm gonna make some more bleach just to rush this up. Probably like 10 minutes. 10 more minutes. It's almost ready. It's just this one that is not ready.
It'll get there. You know, they always say a watched pot never boils. And we have all these people watching. So let's go take a look at the retail area. And we can see some of the other products that they carry that are from Salon and Spa Wholesaler. So we have the Prodigen Anti-Hair Loss Thickening Shampoo, Conditioner, and Serum. It's an amazing product line for those of you looking for an anti-hair loss thickening treatment for your clients. Some wonderful smoothing cream, reviving curl cream, gels, mousses. Probably my favorite purple shampoo in the whole wide world, which is the Luminate Ultraviolet shampoo. It's a purple shampoo that turns the hair a lovely shade of silver, and it smells amazing. So Oyster makes a variety of different hairsprays. The Soft Touch probably being my favorite working hairspray that I use when I'm putting curls in the hair. So water wax, the fixie paste, modeling paste, and then the clay wax, which I love for my male clients and also to give volume to some of my female clients. Salon and Spa Wholesaler carries a variety of Wella products and Sebastian products also. And I'm very happy to see that SH Salon is carrying June Saffron Hair Elixir, along with the June shampoo and conditioner. And the Cara RX Smoothing Shampoo and Reconditioner. I see that they've sold all of their shampoo and conditioner except for these last 2 bottles. So it's something, if you have clients that want healthier, smoother hair and a sulfate-free, paraben-free, color-safe shampoo and conditioner, come on into Salon and Spa Wholesaler and make sure your salon is offering this amazing line. Again, they're down to their last bottle of shampoo and conditioner. The Cutenol Color Up and Rebirth lines. So let's sneak back over and take a look at our model. So you'll see that the highlights and lowlights are processing. And that soon we're going to be toning away all of this gold. Okay. So we have the partial foil in. We have the hair low lighted in between the foils. We have the ends in the front tipped out. And we are just waiting for the hair to finish lifting. And then we will go ahead and tone it with a 7-1. All over with 20 volume. Now, normally when you tone with either 6 or 10 volume, but Yvonne has decided to break the base on purpose because her client is a level 2, and she'd like the level 2 to blend a little bit better with the level 7 highlights that she has. And these foils have already lifted very, very well. Yvonne's checking them. So how light are you trying to lift this to, Yvonne?
I would like to get like a level 9.
And to tone back down to the level 7.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just opened up and checking those.
I want to make sure that the lifts even.
So if the goal is ultimately a level 7, why are we lifting so high?
Because the toner will last more, so it will fade. It will fade slower.
Okay.
minutes.
5 minutes. I hope everybody else is as excited as I am. Hi, Janie.
I'm going to mix the color.
Okay, you're going to go mix up the 7-1?
Yes.
So now let's talk to our lovely model for a minute. So what is it that you do?
So I am an executive consultant with Ambit Energy. So what I do is help people save money and make money on their own electricity bills. My husband and I are a team, and we've been doing this for almost 6 years.
Oh, wow. So how do you make money on your electric bill?
Basically, you can become your own customer, sign up as an independent consultant. You can reach me, tag me, message me on Facebook. We do have a team all over Houston, probably a little bit over 1,500 people, but I did it part-time as working in the banking industry, board and broke. Did it as a side hustle, started matching my money, and within a year and 8 months, I was able to match my income, and we believed in ourselves and just kind of crushed it by helping other people reach their own goals, which in essence helps us reach
Oh.
where we need to be as well.
Wow.
And it's direct sales, so.
So, besides working full time and being as busy as you are,
Yep.
it sounds like it's hard to spend a whole lot of time on your hair.
Yes. So I know Yvonne through a mutual friend, Bridget, and she does her hair. So I've been following Yvonne. We've been messaging each other, but this is my first time actually meeting her in person. So I've known her just through social media. And if you're not following her, make sure you follow her. I did tag her on Instagram on Yvonne, also the SH Salon at this location out here in Katy. So now I'll be following y'all. I did a couple on my second shout out, but definitely when we're done with the process, I'll be taking a picture, making sure that they know where you're at. And I have a couple people already in mind to bring to Yvonne.
Oh, great. I'm sure Yvonne appreciates that. So what's your goal for your hair? I mean, everybody has hair goals.
Right.
Ultimately, what is yours?
Actually, I never really had a hair goal, just to look obviously apart, but also low maintenance. You know, I used to only do my hair a big color like twice a year just because I didn't want my hair to be dry, damaged, any of that.
Okay. And so you went and had highlights done back in January or February?
Yes. Got also, my daughter follows a lot of, IG influencers, and so tried that once, got a couple of toners after that, but then I didn't know if that was regular because I never had someone tell me I had to get a toner every month.
So you were having to go in every month to go ahead and tone this?
Yeah, but I did skip last month. It's been about a month and a half. So I just think there should be a probably quicker or more efficient way, or maybe products that can help me keep that tone.
Do you ever use a purple shampoo?
I do not.
Okay. A purple shampoo is going to be a great way for you to tone your highlights at home. Using it once a week or so, purple neutralizes the unwanted yellow tone.
Okay.
So it just adds a little bit of violet tone once a week. Put it on your hair, leave it on for about 5 minutes. But a nice violet shampoo. We have a great one that we can recommend.
Awesome.
The Lumine Ultraviolet is a great shampoo and conditioner for that. And so we're going to tone that out. Ooh, and here comes Yvonne with the magic mixture and a whisk. Look at her.
I'm not gonna mix it until I'm gonna use it. So that is ready. That is ready. All right, let's go.
Ooh, it's time to go.
Watch it.
We're headed back to the shampoo bowl. Ooh, I love lay down shampoo bowls.
Always a comfortable part.
All right.
Ooh, I see you opening up the hair to get the back combing out. And then those are those ends that you tipped out. So for those of you just tuning in, Yvonne did a partial highlight with a concentration up around the money piece. She tipped out the ends, which is what she's rinsing out right now, of some of the hair that was left out. And there's a low light in between the foils in the front. And right now she's rinsing. Kind of rinsing those tip outs. Pulling those foils.
So pretty.
So obviously your client started at a level 2, which means that she's going to lift very warm. So your goal was to lift to a level 8-9 so you could
8-9.
tone down to a 7-1.
Yes.
Because you always want to lift at least one level past where your goal is. Okay. So will you tone at the shampoo bowl or do you tone at the chair?
I think I'm gonna do it in the chair because I'm going to apply the toner in the back first which is where she's darker.
Okay.
And at the last minute, I'm gonna do it in the front.
Okay. Now, when you rinse the lightener out, do you shampoo or are you just rinsing the lightener, or what do you do?
No, we have to shampoo and take all the bleach from the hair, make it ready and clean
Before you put the color on?
before you put the color in.
Okay. So you're going to use the June shampoo? Ooh, the June shampoo.
I love this shampoo. It's
June-
my favorite.
Saffron Rose Hydrating Shampoo is amazing. I love the scent of it.
Oh, it is.
Now, when you apply the color, will you dry the hair first, or will it just be towel dried, or?
Well, it depends. If I'm going to do a platinum hair, I always like dry. But in her case, I'm just gonna take the excess of the water with a towel.
Okay. So you're gonna towel dry it. I always love the little wrap thing that you make with the towels. I've never been able to master this art.
It's super easy.
Hey, who are you calling super easy?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
See, I want to be able to make a turban with the towels.
Towel wrap is pretty awesome.
I know, I've tried before. Yvonne's tried to teach me, I just refuse to learn.
Yeah. Can't even film no water drip.
so let's peek. Yeah. Oh no. Wasn't me. She made me. Hell, those new highlights already look better than the old ones did.
Yeah.
Definitely look more blended in than.
Yes.
So we are going to watch as Yvonne applies the toners, and then I'm going to end the class, and you guys are going to have to wait for the final result. Because nobody wants to watch toners sit.
It's clean.
Oh
No
wow,
damage.
no breakage
No
in the
damage.
brush. I was like, what is she talking about? So the passport really did prevent breakage in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is where you're much more gentle than I would be. I'd be like, what? You're going to go into other salon? Why don't you come to me first? Coming into me, fix somebody else's mess.
You don't know what
Well,
you don't know.
yeah, remember that when everything is wet, it's more fragile than when it's dry. So it's very important to be gentle with the hair when it's vulnerable. Especially when it's just bleach, you know? You see the color
I do.
of the highlight, the lowlights?
I see that the low light filled that in nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see that what Yvonne's done is truly blended in the previous highlights. Ooh, I can't wait till these are toned. So right now you're just detangling it
Make it ready
and
for-
towel drying it, and then you're going to tone it with the 7-1 and 20 volume in order to
volume.
break the base
Yes.
and tone at the same time. Got quite a bit of lift up here. Even wet, those lifted to a pretty color.
You need a bag for this?
Yes.
Okay. Please, 205 with nice.
Oh, remembering to put your gloves on, something I always forget. And then I end up with ombre fingernails. Ombre fingernails are not cute.
No.
It's not close yet. Maybe you need to sign or it didn't say sign. It's not close. I think it's right what it says. You already went through.
So you're mixing up your magic color.
Can we do it again?
So I have a question for you. Normally when you use purity as permanent color, it's mixed 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
When you tone, it's normally mixed 1-to-2.
1-to-2.
So when you're toning and breaking the base, what do you mix it?
1 to 1.5.
Oh,
Sorry.
1-to-1.5.
It depends how much pigment do you want. Because the more developer you put on you're diluting the
Ah,
pigment. So if you are going to cover gray, it has to be 1 and 1. But since we bleach the hair, like that's why I'm leaving this until the last minute, because this is super light, so it won't be like too much time.
so it'll process a lot faster than the back, where it's very orange.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. So again, Yvonne is using 7-1 in purity with 20 volume, and she's going to apply it universally. She wants to break the base on this level 2 hair. So you're starting at the base and then we'll work to the mid shaft and ends at the end, or
Like
just
a
full
level-
saturation?
Yeah.
Because this one just came yesterday, I didn't activate it yet.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. So,
I will see you whenever.
yeah, you text me.
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been 6 years, you know?
Right. Oh, thank you for your loyalty. Thanks.
Great. So it's a global application. I am going to go ahead and end the video here in another minute or so, and then we'll post the final results at the end. Are there any special tips or techniques that they need to know when you're doing, when you're toning the highlights like you are right now?
Well, just make sure what level do you want to get, and remember that if you leave your toner for 2 minutes, sometimes that color will fade more often. Usually I leave it 20 minutes.
Also, leave it the full time. What if it ends up too dark? I mean, that's one problem that sometimes people are afraid of. They're like, oh, if I leave it on too long, It looks like it's turning too dark.
Well, yeah, but the pigment is there and it won't fade in 3-4 shampoos. We need to explain that to the client too. That okay, especially with blondes, if they want a cool toner, and they want to be light and cool. And if you don't leave the time that it's supposed to, that color will fade and it's gonna be brassy in 3-4 shampoos.
Oh, and then they have to come back in more
And you
often.
gotta go- exactly.
So you have to trust the process. I see that you're doing very full saturation
Yeah.
and then pushing it in.
Open the hair.
Open the hair and pushing it in.